Coming up next on the CHGO Cubs podcast, live from the Xfinity Loft. Whoa! Ben Brown opens eyes in Cactus League action. Who's the best second baseman in the National League Central? Is it Nico Hoerner? Oh, some of you are going to be mad, I think. And a hypothetical, you're forced to trade Pete Crow Armstrong. What's an acceptable return? It's next on CHGO Cubs. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs podcast. It is Tuesday, February 24th, and we are live from the Xfinity Loft.
Ooh.
First class, boys, first class.
And shout out to Luke Stuckmeyer, because normally we're in a different studio and we go pantless. But now our legs are exposed, and you're like, hey, make sure you wear pants. We're in Studio A, and I appreciate the heads up, dude.
I had to turn around. It's the first time I've worn pants in like 3 months to work now.
Since the playoffs.
The entire offseason.
Yeah, right.
It is nice to be in the Xfinity Loft. It is first class. It's almost a private jet. What do they call that? Is it a G9? Is that what the kids call it, the G9?
A G6?
G6? Is that what it is? G6? I don't know what they call it.
G9 better.
G9's better than a G6.
Listen, I'm never flying in one. Those suckers crash all the time. I'd prefer the Xfinity Loft and the comforts of something like that, first class. All right, we're going to talk about fun stuff today, but I should point out that running the ones and twos today is Sarah.
Go Cubs.
Yes. Even our Go Cubs is better in the studio.
I feel like, how about these? These are new microphones to us, too. I feel like it's, do I sound better?
Don't let the facts
I know I
away
look
of a good
better
story. We might have just taken the old mics and made them look prettier, but I don't
Sarah,
know. I don't know.
Please.
These are auto-tuned.
This is a lot going on here.
Yeah. I like the purple. It's nice.
Hey, we got exciting stuff before we get into the topics of the day. We, of course, have the trip is almost here. What are we, 10 days away now?
5 shows away from Arizona,
and it couldn't come at a better time because it's so cold outside.
It is
stupid
brutal.
Get me out of here,
outside.
man.
Now, I got a little more information on this spring training trip. It is presented by our friends at Shady Rays. We leave next Thursday.
Yes.
We stay all the way through Sunday. I know I'm coming home late from that one. We got a lot of stuff planned, and it's all a la carte. They're still ironing out some of the details. We have Cubs games at Sloan Park. There's a Sox game if somebody wants to a la carte that. There is a Bulls-Suns game going on in Phoenix that will be there. I believe we're going to that as well. And then there is the golf outing, which I found out is at Dobson Ranch Golf Course in Scottsdale. I Googled this. This is a pretty nice-looking course.
Nice.
Okay.
And we're going to take down the people from DNVR, and we're going to take down the people from Phoenix, and we're going to have our way with these teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't golf, but I will. Okay? Just letting you know. We're going to have some shots, and I'll be honest right now, between the three of us, I have no integrity on the golf course. If I want to take a mulligan, I will take a mulligan.
Gentleman's honor.
There is no gentleman's honor with me. If I'm golfing and it's over underneath a cactus, I'm not getting bit by a rattlesnake. I'm dropping on the fairway and I'm hitting.
So what's your gimme putt? Is it a cup snake? Is that basically?
It's on the green, it's in.
yeah, exactly.
It's on the green, it's in.
When you were saying we're going to take shots, I really thought you were talking about alcohol for a second. I was like, oh, we're ripping shots? All right, let's go.
Listen. In that heat, I can't do that. I got to be careful with that kind of stuff.
Golf. All
but
right,
yeah, Dobson's Ranch. You could still sign up. There's still a couple spots, but they are going fast. So make sure you sign up today. Now, if you want to do that, the Die Hard deal is a great way to do it. And we have a Die Hard deal going on because the NFL Combine is going on. Braggs and the boys and Hogue and Johns, they're all down there. Carm. I saw Carm going down with a fresh haircut in his car. He's doing videos while he's driving. Safe, you know.
Yeah.
Especially with the silver hair, an old guy driving, doing videos while he's on the highway.
I got to say, people who follow me, I've done that before, but my car drives itself, so I'm safe.
Okay.
Carm, I think he's driving while he's filming.
Carm's probably driving himself.
Right.
And anyways, $36 for that first year of the Die Hard membership. Still comes with the free T-shirt. Still comes with the Die Hard card and all the credibility that brings. And then, of course, discounts on events and trips and things like that. So might be a good time to do it. Hey, our guy Niren is here live.
Welcome
I haven't
back.
seen Niren on a live show in quite some time, so good to see Niren back. Always here for the games. And Corey's been here a regular in the offseason.
Yeah, Vince back in with the sicko check-in. What's up, Vince? Craig Brindle, everyone
Wants
here. We
to
got a
extend
good group.
Nico.
Good group. Good start.
All right, so let's get started on this. First, let's just recap a little bit of yesterday's game. Then we'll get on to the best second baseman. And if your life depended on it and you were forced and you were Jed Hoyer and they said, okay, your family's life depends on it. You must trade Pete Crow Armstrong. What are you getting back?
Wow.
What would you do? Because everybody's tradable. There's always a price.
There's no untouchable, right?
There is no untouchable. All right. We mentioned Jefferson Rojas, guys, yesterday on the podcast, and we're like, oh, wait a minute.
He must have heard us.
Jefferson Rojas, exit velo, and we all said, okay, everybody calm down. This is one of those overreactions of 1 or 2 games, at that time 3 games. But the Cubs finally won a game, and Jefferson Rojas homered, fellas.
He had a bomb, yeah.
Is anybody starting to get the goosebumps for Mr. Jefferson Rojas and what he might mean to this team, even if it's at the end of the season?
Absolutely. I think, we talked about Cade Horton coming up, PCA, Matt Shaw. The young guys are here, right? We don't really have – we traded away Owen Casey. Alcantara's fighting for a 4th outfield spot. We don't really have that top – minus Jackson Wiggins. We don't really have that – premier guy down on the farm anymore, right? So we talked about you kind of want other guys to step up. And I know Rojas has been a top prospect for us, but you want to see progress and you want to see him live up to the hype. And the fact that, like, listen, I've only watched on like highlights on like Twitter and stuff like that, but the dude looks good. He looks like he's a major league hitter. He really does. He's hitting the ball hard. I love the home run. I'm really excited about him. Hopefully, he's not going to break camp with us, but man, it's good to have not only insurance down on the farm, but yeah, absolutely. September call-ups, those kind of things. Trades happen. Maybe he's a piece that helps you get somebody like a Scooble or whatever. Absolutely, I'm very excited about Jefferson Rojas.
Yeah, 108 miles per hour off the bat with that home run. Progress is a great word for it because. Look, we said it tongue-in-cheek, but it happens every year, Luke. There's always going to be the spring training superhero that Cubs fans are going to fall in love with, and some people might get a little delusional and try and push them on to the Major League roster. Justin, I'm in agreement with you. I don't think right now is the right time for a 20-year-old Jefferson Rojas, even if he does rake throughout spring training and hits 375. I just think the thing that's really refreshing about it is, as I mentioned yesterday, Jefferson Rojas hitting well is good for the Chicago Cubs farm system. Yes. It's a guy that we know that's already been on the list. It helps prop up and juice up a little bit of the guys at the top end. Jefferson Rojas could still be a 1 year, 2 years away, and that's fine. You want to see him have success, then carry it over to the minor leagues this year. I'm just excited, Luke, that it's not, no offense to them, but it's not Gage Workman. It's not Jake Slaughter. It's not guys.
Don't you speak ill of Tater Workman.
It's just these guys are those were all reclamation projects that had a little lightning in a bottle in spring training. Tater. Some Cubs fans were willing to talk themselves into, can they help their Major League roster eventually? No, you would never.
I was printing tater shirts. I'm here for the mashed taters.
But no, I'm glad it's a 20-year-old that looks like he could have a future, and maybe it is with the Cubs in a year or two. I'm glad it's that kind of guy as opposed to that kind of guy.
Craig Brindle, who's always ready to trade for Scooble, says if Nico were not to be extended, he could be your starter at second base. Maybe not Matt Shaw next year. Okay.
There you go. Or Matt Shaw's in the outfield.
That's right.
And Rojas is second base.
Because there's some outfielders that might not be brought back next year.
Right.
I have heard him compared to, as far as like what are expectations, I've heard people compare him to Starlin Castro.
Wow.
So let's say this prospect turns out to be the next Starlin Castro. Mm-hmm. You happy with that?
1,000%. Starlin Castro from the jump was a great hitter. The guy, we thought he was going to be like the guy that gets, thousands of hits in his major league career. I know his career kind of tailed off a little bit, but we traded him. We got rid of Ben Zobrist was the guy versus Castro. That was a trade-off, right? And it worked out pretty well. But I don't think Starlin Castro played his way out of Chicago. I think it was more like we're trying to build this championship team, need versus whatever. I'd be thrilled if Rojas was Starlin Castro because Starlin Castro was a great, great pure hitter, I felt like.
Yeah, and the other interesting part, and the thing that's going to be what it's about with Jefferson Rojas is no one doubts his hit tool. Like as I said, like the Cubs challenge him by accelerating his development throughout the minor leagues and saying, hey, kid, can you hit, high single A at 19 years old, 20 years old, able to pass that test. And the other thing, tip of the cap to him was, I think, frankly, he made Christian Hernandez expendable. Because when he got to Myrtle Beach last year, Christian Hernandez had to move over to second base. Next thing you know, Christian Hernandez is in a deal, that's bringing Edward Cabrera over to Chicago. So good for Jefferson Rojas for building that confidence throughout the organization. But again, there are still some question marks about his speed, about his range, where he's going to be defensively. So if that is the case, when we talk about Starlin Castro had to hit, and hit some more to make it at the major league level. So it's all out there for Jefferson Rojas. He's 20 years old. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Craig Brindleman, I love you, but dude, I am extend Nico Hoerner. Yes. We're not kicking the tires on replacing him with Jefferson Rojas yet, even though I am rooting for the kid to have a good spring.
A couple other guys that jumped out in yesterday's game. The ass man, Javier Assad, one in a third inning, scoreless. Hodge, who had the horrible day, Porter Hodge, earlier in one of the first three games, 1 inning, scoreless, 2 strikeouts. Everybody calm down.
He needed that.
Everybody calm down.
Think about it. Like,
play Skate Horton.
A guy like him isn't guaranteed for anything, right? He's had success. He's looked really, really bad as well. You start your spring off as bad as he looked. No one needed that clean inning more than Porter Hodge. And, he slept really well last night.
Yeah. I was going to say the other guy that was really good. Sorry. I know you want to talk Porter Hodge, was Ben Brown. Let's get to him next. Because Ben Brown. Yes.
No, dude,
or do you want to jump ahead?
Let's jump to Ben Brown.
Does that excite you?
Yeah, it does excite me because when we did Producer Prepare last week, right? Like I think he was one of the big guys that really needs to produce.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. Like we're so excited about this Cubs team. We're so excited about Cade Horton. There's also a young pitcher, Ben Brown, that has a lot of potential that they gave a lot of run to. And this happens sometimes in baseball, and it goes one of two ways, right? Like you bring up a young player with a ton of talent, and frankly, for the first year or two, the dude gets his head kicked in. That's kind of just the way it goes a little bit. And how you respond and adjust to that can make the mark of what kind of career you're going to have. Is he going to be a reliever? Is he going to be a starter? So just to see him have 2 clean innings, get off to a strong spring start building a little confidence, each outing at a time, keep stacking, keep getting there. Make it hard on the Cubs, right? Make them have to make a decision. And I've said it before with Ben Brown. It's like force the Cubs to put you in the role that you want to be in.
Yes.
Right? If you can produce and pitch, if you want to be a starter, go show them. If you want to be a late inning reliever, go show them. You have the talent to probably figure into the bullpen mix in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning. But if you want to have a big role in this team, Ben Brown, just keep doing what you're doing and force the Cubs' hand.
Guys, hypothetical here. If Ben Brown is lights out in spring, and so far so good, right? He's looked really, really good, incorporating the third pitch, and just his stuff's always been elite. Again, former top prospect and stuff. If he is lights out this spring, you've heard Tommy Hotovy talk about, like, he's not counting him out as a starter. Craig Counsell made a comment, something like that too. Like, he's not saying no to a starter. Hypothetically, he's lights out this spring. Where does Ben Brown pitch on this team? Where does he fit?
He's a piggyback guy.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Especially early in the season, if he proves he could be a starter, for me, I would say he's a piggyback guy. Somebody can ease their way in. If they want to keep Matthew Boyd's numbers down, they could have Boyd and then Ben Brown. Or if you want to ease Shota in,
right,
piggyback them early, or you go to a longer rotation and you let guys really ease into the rotation. I'm not against that.
Yeah.
I think of the early things that have happened. Listen, we're not even a week into Cactus League games, so I don't want to overvalue this. But the biggest thing that's happened since the Cubs started playing games is not signing Conforto. It is not Jefferson Rojas. It is Ben Brown showing you a third pitch.
Yes.
It's Ben Brown showing you the sinker yesterday that was 98 miles an hour. Nobody's ever questioned his stuff. People question whether or not he would develop a third pitch. This was one he developed in the offseason. He didn't throw it in a major league game last year or anything. This is all brand new. And he already had the fastball and the curveball, which were plus pitches. Mm-hmm. It was, can he throw strikes? And can he develop a third pitch? In this first outing for him, it could not have been better. Mm-hmm. No walks. And the third pitch finished it off, a sinker at 98. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Now Ben Brown if he does something like that and he builds on it, and this is just the foundation,
Right.
well, now I can see a path to where he's a valuable piece in the rotation. It's not like we haven't seen. He shut out the Brewers.
He's had a couple dominant starts. He really
I'm not saying he hasn't. He hasn't had some real duds too.
Right.
He has, but we've always seen the upside on Ben Brown. Whether he's in the bullpen or in the rotation, I think he's helping the Cubs this year. But that addition of a pitch, that's the best thing that's happened so far.
And I know we got to go to break, but just really fast. Yeah, like Ben Brown against the Brewers, great. Against the Padres, can barely get out of the first inning, right?
Yeah.
I like your option a lot because you're going to monitor pitch count with Cabrera, Boyd when he gets back from the WBC, Shota, and also even maybe Cade Horton. So piggyback, yes. If he is so good, though, Justin, he might not like to hear this, though, but with so many off days the first couple months of the season, which is how it always works out, which is strange to me, Ben Brown might have to go to AAA and stay a starter and wait for his opportunity.
Don't say it.
I mean, you want to keep him lengthened out, though.
One more thing before break. If the piggyback thing does happen, I only want him piggybacking against Boyd and Shota. I want the lefty righty. I don't want him piggybacking against a righty. I feel like take your advantage of like coming after Boyd or Shota, lefty righty. What's going on? Let heads turn from that other lineup.
One more thought on Ben Brown after the break, but first, a word from our sponsors on the CHGO Cubs podcast. What if you could have intelligent, reliable Wi-Fi, and what if you could keep that Wi-Fi at the same price for 5 years? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 years. And it's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home just work together, finds and fixes problems before you even know them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. You can be streaming the game while the rest of the family is streaming whatever Doc McStuffins might be going on in the house, whatever it might be. All your devices working in harmony for 5 whole years. And the best part is there's no hidden fees here. There's no annual contracts. And Xfinity's best equipment is included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. But your Wi-Fi, that should stay the same. Same price. Lock in your price. Unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
You know, Luke, last week it got up to like 55 degrees. We were feeling nice. Maybe winter was over, and winter said, nah, come on back. So that's why you got to ask yourself the question, is your home's heating still up for the challenge? And if you got a plumbing emergency, what should you do? You should call Four Seasons. If you had an electrical emergency, you call Four Seasons. And if you need a new hot water tank installed today, you call Four Seasons. Now is the time to schedule your Four Seasons furnace tune-up. And if you're looking for a whole home generator, they've got you covered because at Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, sewer, and generator needs with no extra charges for nights, weekends, or holidays. Right now, you can save up to $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems with Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Furnaces at $39 a month. Furnace AC combos at $57 a month. So what are you waiting for? Call today. Save that $50 from their trusted local experts. It's Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric that's been serving the community for over 50 years. So head to fourseasonsheatingcooling.com today for their special offers and money-saving coupons.
Back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, live from the Xfinity Loft.
Oh, man, this is nice. This is nice.
Our new home soon.
It's nice.
Once
But
the season
in 10
starts.
days, we'll be in Arizona.
Oh,
It'll be
that'll
nice
be
there,
nicer.
too.
Yes.
All right, one final thought on the Ben Brown thing, who was great in his first start or appearance of the Cactus League yesterday with a couple of great innings, real nice, no walks, showed this new sinker off. We're worried about where we're going to put him. What's Joe Madden say? Baseball's got a way of taking care of itself.
True.
We're not wishing injuries on anybody, but sometimes you find a way and sometimes baseball finds a way. I want to see Ben Brown have a great spring, and as Joey said, force the Cubs to put him where he wants to be. So now we get on to our topic here. We've gone around the field and tried to compare where the Cubs stand at each position in the division. Do they have the best third baseman? Do they have the best first baseman? Do they have the best catcher situation? Honestly, I think they've been 1 or 2 at every position, haven't they?
Yes.
We're a pretty stacked team. I mean, we really are. It shows with depth here.
If I'm remembering correctly, I think we had them 2 at catcher, 1 at third, 2 at shortstop, 1 at first, 1 at right field, 1 in center field.
Right center. They're first or second at every position, I believe.
Yeah. Really fast. I don't want to spoil anything, but whoever's watching this and listening, you're going to be mad at one of us. You're going to be mad at one of us. Stay tuned to find out, but you're going to be very, very mad at one of us.
Could it be Larry, Barb? Could it be Larry?
Well, I'm not sure which one of you is Larry, but one of you is going to be in trouble.
That's why I said any of us could be Larry.
My favorite is the Mr. Crocodile Man. Shout out Jared.
Oh, yeah. Jared's the crocodile man.
Barb's got some good ones.
And then there's the guy who always thought my name was Steve for the first 3 months of the show. I like Steve's takes. Okay, so who's the best second baseman in the National League? We feel like the Cubs are at least 1 or 2 at every position. We always start with number 5, and pretty much, well, it's true. It's always whoever's in St. Louis because they're barely relevant only in St. Louis. They don't even their own fans don't show up for their games anymore.
The greatest fans in baseball.
Greatest fans in all of sports. Even they don't want to go see this team play. Mm-hmm. That's how bad they stink.
Yeah, they'll be in Hell's Kitchen because I think the second baseman is named Nolan Gorman Ramsey.
I love his restaurants.
Yeah. I love it when he screams at me. That's what it's going to feel like in your head.
He's got a new one in Naperville, by the way.
Oh, yeah? In the Napes?
Gordon Ramsay, yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Sorry.
It's St. Louis. It doesn't matter. Moving on. At number 4, we have the Cincinnati Reds, Matt McClain.
Okay.
Matt McClain, young player, a guy who had a really, really strong season 2 years ago, 3.6 WAR in 2023. Has battled some injuries a little bit. 25 years old. Simply just did not have a really strong season. 15 home runs, 50 RBIs. I think a guy that, if this was a Reds podcast, I think they'd be talking about him as an X factor, as a bounce back guy.
Gordon Wittenmeyer was probably big on him.
Yeah, he was a 0 point. Yeah, Gordon Wittenmeyer definitely pumping him up in Zach Littell.
G-man.
He's a 0.0 WAR player. But again, this is when people start talking about, like, are the Reds going to make some noise this year? Yes, I think the pitching matchups are going to be tough. And the Cubs are going to have to score. They're going to have to scratch those 3-4 runs against the Reds. But as you go across the diamond and you look at the Reds, you're just saying to yourself, where is that offense coming from outside of Eugenio Suarez? Is Spencer Steer for real? TJ Friedel for real? And De La Cruz is the centerpiece. Can he put it all together? So they just have a ton of question marks offensively. So we have Matt McClain number 3 on the list.
Larry's in the middle, by the way, says Barb. So now we know. You're Larry.
Good to know. You got a great first name, by the way. Joey? I think that's what it is.
Joey,
great first name.
Larry.
Yeah,
so let's get to...
Gary.
Okay, so here we go, guys. All right. This is when I lean forward in Studio A, right? Okay. Now, I just want to say this to everybody out there, right? When we talk about who's the best second baseman in the NL Central, I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to keep it real, all right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to just crunch it, and I'm just going to tell you straight up and give you the honest talk. I love Nico Hoerner, okay? Do not trade Nico Hoerner. Extend Nico Hoerner. I think Nico Hoerner is reaching his apex and possibly can maybe even take his game to another level this year. But I'm just being honest. In spring training, heading into this year, 2026, I currently personally have Nico Hoerner number 2. I have Brice Turang as number 1. Here's the
Tell
case.
us why you hate Nico.
Here is the case. Yeah, exactly. Let's start. Let me count the ways. So here's the deal. And obviously, Brandon Lowe is number 3. Brandon Lowe is an interesting guy, obviously, because he's being brought over from the Pirates, guy that hits 30 home runs. He's atrocious defensively, okay? So they got more offensively. Paul Skeens might not really enjoy Brandon Lowe trying to turn double plays with whoever it's going to be over at shortstop.
But he's got tons of pop in his bat.
Yeah, tons of pop. Yep. Left-handed hitter. Yep. He's made an all-star team before. Yep. Very solid player, but just truly, truly atrocious defensively. Here's the thing with Brice Turang, right? Brice Turang, 25 years old. 5.6 WAR last year, combined 10.3 over the last 2 years. Slash 288, on base percentage 359, slugging 435. Drove in 81 runs from the second base position. Hit 18 bombs, 28 doubles. He's got 7 defensive runs saved, so he's not a bad defensive player. Nico Hoerner is by far a better defensive player. But also he steals just about as many bags. So 24 bags last year. He stole 50 the year before that. And a lot of the stuff that we talk about on this show about why we love Nico Hoerner, right? Led the team in runners in scoring position. Brice Turang with runners in scoring position last year, 364. Okay, like in the second half of last year, Brice Turang hit 308 after the All-Star break. Oh, so did Nico Hoerner. His OPS was 916. So he's hitting 308 also with the power. And the final part, because I'm getting nauseous even like pumping up, gassing up another Brewers player, is that frankly, we could say what we want about the Brewers lineup, but Brice Turang is counted on to hit 1, 2, 3, and in the middle of the lineup for the Milwaukee.
Right.
And the dude delivers. I'm sorry, he's a little bit younger. He's got a little bit more pop on the bat. He's pretty good defensively. Nico is elite defensively. But again, there are some separators there, and it's really, really close. But I'm not going to just come on here and say that every Cubs player deserves to be number one. I'm just not. I just think Brice Turang is number one. I know you guys disagree with me, so let's talk it out for sure.
Heavily. Yeah. I think that you're putting emphasis on power versus defense. And listen, Nico, his one knock is, you're right, the power isn't there, okay? I still think there is more there. And this is, for me, the year. Well, I'll find out if I'm just being blindly optimistic or not. I want to see Nico take that next step with his power, because I feel like if you look at the eye test is there. The guy's in great shape. I feel like he's got these. I mean, he's not hitting like just home runs that get into the basket. He'll crush the ball and is like, oh wow, he's got power. I don't know why it hasn't translated. So I still think this is the year that he takes a step forward power wise. But I think his defense is so elite that in this conversation, it does make up for lack of power. I'm looking at your notes right now. Brice Turang has a 5.6 WAR, right? Nico Hoerner 6.2.
That's pretty close, dude.
I mean,
it's pretty close, guys.
It's
One's
close,
higher than
but
the other.
But who's ahead?
Who's younger?
You can't. That's ageist.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's
Hey,
not ages.
Thank you. Finally, somebody pointing out that everybody in this company is ageist.
I also feel like Nico Hoerner is honestly the heart and soul of this team.
That's fair, and I agree with that.
And the intangibles of the fact of like the guy does every single thing well. I'm sorry, great minus the power. I think Nico Hoerner is everything great minus the power. So I will put Nico Hoerner number one on my list. It is not a knock on Turang. It's more just a matter of I think Nico is the best second baseman in the National League when you look at overall his game. And I do still think there's more power there, and I'm really hoping to see it this year.
Break the tie, Luke.
Well, here's what I would just put them both as number one. That's how honestly I would do it.
Yeah.
I will tell you, Justin, that I personally had the same hope for Nico and the power thing, but I have given up that. I have accepted who Nico Hoerner is, and he is still the best or co-best second baseman in the division. Turang is a better hitter. Mm-hmm. Nico is a better fielder. Mm-hmm. Do I value that power more than I value that defense? Yes. But let me tell you why it's still number one. It's number one because Turang plays without pressure. He plays in a city that nobody cares about.
Yep.
He plays in a ballpark that's covered. The wind's not blowing in. It's not raining in his face for half of the season. It's not any of those things.
Right.
He's not even trying to play defense when the ball's swirling around like a tornado coming down and trying to catch it. He doesn't have the wind knocking down 3 or 4 home runs a year,
right,
at least, okay? He is playing in pressureless baseball in small market Milwaukee. It's not his fault, but you have to factor it in.
Yeah.
Nico is playing in the spotlight of Wrigley Field. There aren't too many places bigger in the National League than playing in Wrigley Field or in all of baseball.
And the third biggest city in the country.
In a much bigger market with much more intensity looking down on him, and he quietly just keeps doing it every year. So I will break the tie by just saying they are number one. I think Turang's power is more valuable than Nico's defense. I think they're both two of the top second basemen in all of baseball. Yeah. But you have to remember that Turang plays in Milwaukee, and that's like giving a speech to your family. When you're in school, you practice that speech for school, and you're like, okay, Mom, here I go. Here's my speech, and you zing through it. And then you get up there for that speech in front of your peers and the teacher, and you go, ahamada, hamada, 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 and you forget a few lines. There's a difference.
There is.
There's a difference, and I think that's the difference in why they're still number one.
Let me piggyback one thing on what you said, then I know you want to talk. Well, I think if you look at this team, what do we need the Cubs? What do we need Nico to be better at? Defense or power?
That's fair.
Defense. He's a better fit for us. Nico's a better fit for us because we got power covered. I think we got power covered and then some, right? So, Turang needs to be kind of an offensive player for Milwaukee. And this team, what we need Nico Hoerner to be is the heart and soul of the team, a stud defensively, and that benefits the Chicago Cubs greater.
But Turang is the right fit for Milwaukee, too.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because here's that's why I put him ahead, frankly. And you brought up a good point where the conversation that we're having when you talk about Turang and Hoerner, outside of Ketel Marte, maybe you make a case for Jazz Chisholm. Maybe you make a run at, Brendan Donovan or something like that. You are talking about the two premier second basemen in one division. Mm-hmm. So when you're making a list like this, and I know it's the hated Brewers or whatever, I'm just trying to objectively respect game a little bit. And I love Nico Hoerner. And I think he's going to have a great season. And if it was a conversation that I like to have of bases loaded, nobody out, I need somebody to drive this run in right now.
You're taking Brice Turang.
No, I'm taking Nico Hoerner.
Yes,
no, I'm taking Nico Hoerner.
But
objectively with this ranking right now, when we were sitting here and going, man, the Brewers got to lose sooner or later.
Right.
They go 29-4, and they're running away with this division in August and September. Brice Turang was carrying that team at the time, and I can't walk away from that, okay? I don't know if Nico Hoerner can carry a team, okay? And I appreciate him for his defense and what he brings to the team, and they are different players, so it's hard to have the argument other than the fact that they play the same position, but I'm just not going to walk away from the fact that, man, Brice Turang had a really great year for the Brewers, man, and if they want to do anything this year, he might even have to be better for them.
Oh, Joey or Larry, whatever your name is, shame on you for having integrity.
How dare I?
All right, while we head to break on the CHGO Cubs podcast, hit that like button. Give us the old thumbs up. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. New customers now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. That's right. How about a 100% parlay boost? Double your winnings on parlays with Bet365's 100% parlay boost. Download the app and use the code CHGO365 when you sign up for that parlay boost. How about betting on Kate Horton to win the Cy Young? How about PCA being the MVP? Get those bets in early right now because they are
NL Central, pennant, World Series
out for us. Breaking news from Bet365. Playoff season is here, and new customers now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code CHGO365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only.
Can't believe it, Justin, but February is almost over. March is right around the corner. And if your New Year's resolutions are still intact, good for you. Or if you want to start a new one, the best way to do it right now is perfect with the high-protein solution of Huel, baby. That's right. Huel, it is a meal on the go. We got chaotic days. We're doing live shows here all the time, and sometimes I just need to get a meal as quick as possible, and Huel is the perfect answer to my protein needs. Whether it's a chaotic morning or whether you skip a meal before or after workout, Huel is right there for you because it's got 35 grams of protein, 27 essential vitamins and minerals, no artificial sweeteners, gluten-free, and the best part, $5 per meal. You can also get the powder too as well and make your own smoothies and add what you want to it. So whatever you're doing right now, head on over and check out Huel today with their exclusive offer of 15% off. Online with the code Cubs15, that's CUBS15 for new customers only. Thank you, Huel, for partnering with CHGO Cubs. If you're busy, Huel is the game changer you need.
Back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, and Vince Perez 6322 with the live chat of the day in the live YouTube chat here in the all-new CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. He says, I agree with Luke. Nobody cares about the Brewers.
It's funny how that one...
Anybody that says, I agree with Luke, you always get your comment read.
That gets highlighted.
That has never changed. Over. This is going to be our 5th season.
Talk about integrity. I mean, there you go.
That's right.
Yeah, picking those
That's
for
right.
sure. Yeah. How about Barb's? How about we highlight that one then?
What does Barb have?
The last one.
I hope Stuckey takes them to Hooters after the show. They look hungry.
Yeah.
Great wings. We talked about it just the other day.
Yeah, Luke's buying.
One more comment before we get to taking the temp. And it's I love to ask. So if I think this part might be, I like Hoerner more than I like Turang just because I'm, integrity.
Yeah.
Would you trade him straight up?
Well, this is where age does play into,
and it's where contract comes in.
Yeah, I mean, so Joey's allowed to be ageist when it comes to trading somebody one-on-one because 25 versus 28. Contract, age, those things matter, and we're going to get to PCA obviously in a little bit. Those type of things matter when you're talking about trading someone 1-for-1. Yeah. So that's a tough one.
I guess, I keep coming back to when we have these conversations though. Who do I want on my team for this year?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I want Nico on my team for this year.
Well, to my point
earlier. And that's the part
that's
about
what
it.
You said.
Yeah, to my point earlier.
When we talk about
he's a better fit for us this year than Turang.
Yeah, so it's like, as much as I think Kyle Tucker is an incredibly talented, productive hitter.
He's boring.
I think Alex Bregman is a better fit for what the Cubs are trying to do this year.
Yes.
Which is win the World Series.
Okay.
And so if we talk about the trade straight up today, I'm not doing it. I'm keeping Nico Hoerner on the Cubs, even though I think in a power ranking, I think Brice Turang is ahead of Nico Hoerner.
I just noticed, by the way, that we're going to need to get some of those new bobbleheads. We're going to have to go to the promotional games because we have a Hayden Wesneski bobblehead on the set today.
Okay, all right.
Guys,
we need a little refresh.
Hey, listen, he's once a Cub, always a Cub.
Okay.
It's a little gamey, though. Can you smell it?
We're going to
need gamey.
We're going to need some new ones.
But on my side, we have a Nico Hoerner bobblehead.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I can't see it from here.
So
nice.
Good job, Sarah. That's why you're the best producer in the world. So we have, there's your answer. That's my number one second baseman right there in front of us as a bobblehead. Nico
Great
Hoerner.
hair in the back, too, by the way.
The flow is amazing.
It to him.
It is time for Taking the Temp. 4 Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. They've been serving the Chicagoland area for more than 50 years. 4 Seasons, your trusted local experts. They are it is 4 Seasons, heatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. 4 Seasons, heatingcooling.com. So the Taking the Temp question of the day is carried over from yesterday when we were talking about Pete Crow Armstrong, and we were talking about who are the best center fielders in the division. And we looked around, and I guess it depends on where you want to play Chourio, and then we talked about Chourio, and I said, so would you trade straight up Pete Crow Armstrong for Chourio? That's the first part of the Taking the Temp question. And then the second part is, if you had to trade Pete Crow Armstrong, if the Cubs were forced somehow, right? If our existence on the planet only continued if we traded Pete Crow Armstrong. That was what the people told us we had to do. The aliens said either the Cubs trade Nico Hoerner or this planet doesn't exist. That's right. If E.T. forced us.
Yeah.
Who would you trade him for? Like, who would you be willing to trade him for? So first of all,
do we have ground rules with this? Like contracts and stuff like that. Like
this is taking the temp. We take it however we want.
Okay,
you know, this is Chicago. The temp can be all over the place.
That's true.
Okay, so the first name on the list for me is Chourio, and then we can expand it from there. I believe that Chourio. I've said I take PCA over Chourio, even though the age is 1 year younger. I believe for Chourio, or almost 2 years. I like the guy I know. Mm-hmm. I like the guy that I've seen the quotes from. By the way, the Dodgers quote that was in that article.
Legendary.
Give me more of that.
Absolutely.
He knows how to get me fired up, this Armstrong kid. I love Chicago more and more. The people are great. They aren't just baseball fans who go to the game like Dodgers fans to take pictures and whatever.
Wow.
They care.
Mm-hmm. Boom.
Take that in your big payroll and stick it in your Hollywood.
Yep.
Whatever.
And that's the swag I was talking about yesterday. You know, we could talk about stats, we could talk about WAR, we could talk about zips, all those things. But there's a swag factor with PCA that I love, that I want more of. You know, like there's some guys that just, you know, wouldn't have the cojones to say something like that. But PCA is not one of. He will say what's on his mind. I mean, I'm sure his agent's like, dude, shut up. He said, like, I want to be a Cub for life. Like, he's verbally said that. Like, I hope they can work out a deal. From an agent, it's probably like, dude, stop saying that. You're killing my leverage. You know, like he wants to be here. He loves Chicago. He's everything that's good about Chicago. And the swag factor is just off the meter.
Joey, you lived in Hollywood. This is Mary Hart and Jason Bateman versus the Grabowskis. Okay, like we're the Grabowskis, and they're Mary Hart with her insured legs, and Jason Bateman.
I've been to a lot of Dodgers games, a lot of Dodgers versus Cubs. and I'm happy to say that we do not do the wave at Wrigley Field. I think the wave.
Thank you.
Everyone's like, no one pays attention at Wrigley Field. It's like, all right, yeah, let's all get 56,000 human mass looking at each other, all standing up in unison. Yeah, pure intelligence at Dodger Stadium.
There's a new generation of fans that are at Wrigley that try every once in a while, and the old heads start booing, and we do what we can to stop it. But you're right, it's not allowed.
There will be a day probably.
The wave is a disgusting display of sports fandom. Anyways, when we talk about PCA versus Jackson Chourio, I agree with all of your points. Where it's like, how do you take your player? How do you take your talent? Like personally, I like hot sauce on my taco. You know what I put on my Italian beef? I put on giardiniera. You know what I'm saying? I like a little sizzle on my steak. Okay, like I like that flavor. I like my players not only with immense talent like PCA, but also willing to stick it out there and put it out there, being like, we want to beat the Dodgers.
Right.
We want to be the best. I want to be the best. I love Chicago. I want to be here. Baseball is the best. This stuff is my life. That's what you want to hear from a player. Now, I'm not trying to knock guys that are more quiet or go about their business a certain way, which is fine. However you want to do it.
Kyle Hendricks.
But yeah. Oh, that's a great example. I as a fan, I gravitate towards PCA. Same. Give me all of that PCA stock when we talk about him versus Chourio.
Yeah, I mean, I think the list of players that you would, if you're forced to trade Pete Crow Armstrong because of some force of nature, it's a pretty small list when you go around Major League Baseball. First of all, that player has to be young. The biggest debate in my mind is whether or not I would trade him for some of those young frontline starters.
Okay.
Would I trade him for Skubal? Would I trade him for Skeens? And I don't think it'd be a 1-for-1, to be honest with you.
Right.
But I have a hard time trading an all-around, everyday player that can impact 9 innings of a game, even though he's only up 4 times, but his defense can impact any inning. His speed could impact any inning. I have a tough time saying that I would do it for a starter because pitchers get hurt so often. Now, maybe that makes the front line bona fide 1 or 2 aces in the game even more valuable, right? Because that's the way it's going.
Yeah.
But they get hurt so often.
They do.
They get hurt so often, and it's just less likely that my everyday player is going to go through something injury-wise, knock on wood, that will impact their career or will impact 2 years, 3 years, right? It's less likely, and I know they've done a better job of repairing these arms. So I just want to focus, at least for now, before we get into if you want to do pitchers, we can, position players. And can we put a market like, I think the player's got to be under 26.
Okay.
Okay, and so I have a player in mind where I would say, yes, I would do it.
I do too.
But that player is about to turn 26. I would trade PCA for Bobby Witt Jr.
Correct.
All right.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
I would trade PCA for Bobby. That's a name where I can say, okay, if you told me I had to trade Pete Crow Armstrong, and if the Royals told me, well, we'll give you Bobby Witt Jr., I would say, okay.
He's the PCA of shortstops.
That's right.
He's incredible defensively,
But
and
he
he's
will be-
more advanced offensively than
He's
PCA
going to be
right now.
26 in June. PCA will be 24 in March. So he's 2 years younger.
And he's got a big contract, if I'm not wrong, correct?
Yes.
They signed him up, but it's not crazy.
Right.
It's like Kansas City Royals big.
Right.
Locked him up
But
early.
It's not PCA under a rookie contract.
But if you said even with 2 years older and the contract, if you told me you'd give me Bobby Witt Jr. on my team and I'd have to give up PCA, I can see that see that argument. But he's about to be out of that list at some point this season.
11-year, 288.
Right.
That's
not crazy.
No,
not crazy.
If we woke up tomorrow and they were like, we just signed Pete Crow Armstrong to an 11-288, I'd be pretty excited. I think I'd probably be a little hesitant, but if he has the year that we all think that he's going to have this year, and he signed an 11-year for 288, I think we'd be pretty pumped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bobby Witt Jr., even though he's currently 25, he's one of the few guys in baseball I would say, Okay. I mean, he might be my favorite player in baseball out that's not on a Cubs team.
Okay.
He's that good.
He's nasty.
Julio Rodriguez.
Nope.
25 years old, 32 homers, so one more homer, batting average, 174 hits.
Had a great year last year.
Really good.
Really good second half.
But coming off of
he's already 25, so roughly a year older.
He had a great year, but I want to say he was coming off of a not so great year as well. So he's not exactly a guarantee you're going to get this.
Yeah, so the year previous to that, and I got into it with Sean Anderson, who hosts CHGO White Sox. Previous to last year, he had a really rough start to his year. He had a really rough first half, and he finished off his second half strong.
Okay.
And I had this conversation with Sean Anderson where, like, I think Julio Rodriguez has incredible talent, and frankly, he was just kind of bumming me out because he just wasn't being the superstar that I think that he should be.
Right.
And so we got into it back and forth, but I think last year he really showed up. And yeah, look, Julio Rodriguez is a little bit more of a track record than PCA right now, but honestly, I think I'm keeping PCA.
Yeah, I am too.
I agree. I would take PCA over Julio Rodriguez. And again, we have to remember, just to be fair, because of integrity and everything, that PCA did have a part of the season that wasn't very good. I can't just remember all the good stuff, but
sure.
So then I go down to the name Corbin Carroll, who will be 2 years older than PCA in June. He'll be 26. And it's funny because the numbers are pretty darn close to PCA last year. 259 batting average. So he was 12 points higher in batting average than PCA. They both hit 31 homers. He had 11 less RBI than PCA. And they had exactly the same amount of hits, 146.
And that's with PCA's bad second half.
That's right. And with PCA being a better defensive player and in center field.
I don't do it.
And the only thing I will say about Corbin Carroll
leadoff guy
is he cares as much as PCA.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like when we do the whole intangible stuff about like, does the dude care? Corbin Carroll cares a lot. He just broke his hamate bone.
Yeah, he's hurt.
There's videos of him swinging with one arm right now just to come back. I mean, that dude really cares. Man, that's a close one.
Yeah, it is.
I'm keeping PCA.
I'm keeping PCA as well, yeah.
I'm keeping PCA.
Because if it's close, I mean, defensively, PCA is probably the best defender in all of baseball. I mean, I don't feel it's a hot take. I think that at the very least in that conversation. So I keep PCA with that one.
There's just something about Pete Crow Armstrong, and this is where blind faith for me comes in. It's just the way he carries himself, the way he talks, the way that he has incrementally improved each and every single year. Now, has it been a rocket ship ascension? It almost was last year through the first half, and it kind of petered off in the second half. But I have this weird, intangible blind faith that Pete Crow Armstrong is straight up just going to figure it out. He's going to work his way into being a superstar, and I think it comes this year. So I'm not doing it.
Okay, I'm not doing it either.
Yeah.
We're still kind of going down, so we're getting guys that are a little bit younger now. Ellie De La Cruz.
Nope.
No.
24.
Way too much of a what if. Like he could be a superstar Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. He could be a complete bust, and I just no way.
I don't know about complete bust.
He could be a center fielder.
I was going to say some people might say the same thing about PCA. Like there's a lot to love, and then there's a lot to still improve on.
Yep.
I wouldn't do it either.
No.
Jacob Wilson, 24 years old in March, so he's a little bit younger. He hit 311, 13 homers, 151 hits. He's a good young player.
He's the pressure guy, though. Where is he doing?
Right.
Where is he making that happen?
It's a good young player.
Sacramento, yeah, 100%.
Now here's a name that I think gets me a little bit closer to Bobby Witt. Junior Caminero, going to be 23 in July. Hit 264, 45 bombs, 110 RBI, and 159 hits.
How impressive was he at Wrigley last year?
Yeah.
God, he crushed us last year.
Yeah.
I'm rarely as terrified of a 22-year-old as Junior Caminero. Can we sleep on it?
Is that a pressure thing though as well? Is that market size?
That's a pretty good team.
I the only thing about that is that he plays his road games at Fenway Park and Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's fair. And at 22 years old, if he replicates what he did last year and hits 40 plus bombs again, I mean, man, he's an old school hot corner slugger, man. He's impressive.
Corey Seacrest, he says, if it's close, tie goes to the guy you know. I don't know. Bobby Witt's not a tie. Bobby Witt is a yes for me.
Okay.
Junior Camanero's really close.
Okay.
Like, that's a really good cornerstone player moving forward. He's still only 22. He's going to be 23. Yeah. All right, Jackson Merrill was a great season. Then he kind of bounced back a little bit. 264, 16 homers, 67 RBI, 116 hits. He's going to be 23 in April. Also younger than PCA. Would you trade Jackson Merrill for PCA if you were forced to? My answer is no.
I would not.
I'm keeping PCA in the north side.
Churio is going to be 22 in March. We've all said no. But I think right now he might be third on my list because he is so young and he's already batting .270, 21 homers, 148 hits. He's good defensively, not as good as PCA. But I can agree that Jackson Churio is at least on the maybe list if I'm forced to. I think he's a rung below Caminero, though.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Yeah, but in terms of, like, let's just say the aliens got the phaser gun pointed at you and you say, you're trading PCA no matter what.
If you're forced to trade.
You have to do it, right?
That's right.
I think he's a little bit lower down the list of, like, Julio Rodriguez, Junior Caminero, Corbin Carroll. I'm probably swapping those guys. I'm probably grabbing those guys. I'm definitely grabbing Bobby Witt first. And then I think maybe Jackson Churio kind of slots in there. I think Jackson Merrill's, like, kind of way lower than that. Jacob Wilson's a little bit lower than that.
So far, Bobby Witt is the only one we don't need the aliens with the taser gun for.
I'm sorry, I would do it. He's Bobby Witt.
If the Royals called and said Witt for PCA, I would say yes.
Is that the guy you were talking about as well? You said you had somebody as well. Is that
Bobby
Witt.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy. He literally can hit 320 with 30 home runs. And he's the best shortstop in the game.
Luke, you opened up this topic by saying you throw out Skubal and you throw out Skeens.
Yeah, where do you go with that?
And then you went with offensive players.
Yeah,
I had a thought about that. Like if we're doing this, to go back to pitching, I'm an absolute no for Skubal right now, 1-year deal. I'm an absolute yes for Skeens. I think that I know PC is an everyday player, but man, there's something about having a legit number one that we're hoping that Cade Horton can be or is. Skeens is that. And he's still on a rookie deal. And that dude, I want starting game 1 of the NLDS, NLCS, World Series. So, like, in that situation, no to Skubal because I'm not doing it for a rental. Yes to Skeens all day, every day.
That's interesting. I agree of the two, the contract makes the difference.
Yeah.
Like where they are, that makes the difference.
Yeah.
I want to get your opinion on that too in a second. The other names I had on here, Roman Anthony's going to be 22 in May, hit 292, only 8 home runs. Gunnar Henderson, 24.
Yeah.
James Wood, going to be 24 in September.
Great year last year.
31 homers, just like PCA, 256, 153 hits. Listen, there's a lot. I've heard people rave about James Wood.
Yeah.
Look at the numbers I'm telling you. You have to remember that half of the season was kind of a disaster at the plate for PCA. 256 versus the 247 batting average for PCA. I mean, everything is really, really close. Like the home runs and stuff are really close. But again, PCA's defense.
Superior.
I think I'm saying no. I'm saying no. I think the only position player in Major League Baseball
is Bobby Witt.
Big dumper?
So that was the one I wanted to do was like for the next 5 years.
Is there anybody out? Like
for the next 5 years, would you trade PCA for Aaron Judge? And it's a 5-year deal.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I think we'd be roasted if we said no.
Yeah, because Ohtani I would do too.
Oh, I mean,
of course,
Ohtani's a yes.
I just think like
if we're just doing the super young, you know.
Yeah, and for the other 5 years would you trade PCA for 33-year-old Mookie Betts? That was the other one.
No,
I wouldn't.
Not
because that's where the age and I put the 5 years on it because it's like I'm forcing the person to consider the projecting out of what are you getting in years 4 and 5 versus what you could be getting if PCA's at his apex in year 4 or 5.
Is Mookie playing center for us?
He'd probably move back to the outfield, I would figure. Probably he'd be, wow. Yeah, would he be your right fielder or would he be your center fielder? Seiya does play a little center.
That makes it sort of interesting, especially if you're talking about just for 1 year.
I think Corey is correct. Boots is showing more of a decline. And Mohawk Timmy, Aaron Judge, absolutely. I think we're all right when it comes to like Aaron Judge, you do it. I mean,
Aaron Judge, yes. Ohtani, yes.
We'll see with
Bobby
Betts.
Witt Jr., yes.
Okay, but Betts...
the thing with Betts was Betts got so sick before that Japan series.
Yeah.
He said he lost 25 pounds.
Yeah.
And I always go back to like, have you ever, a guy like gets an appendicitis or something like that and they just lose all that weight and then you're forced to play professional baseball day in and day out. I just don't know if Mookie Betts ever got right last year. But I hear you, like 33 years old, eventually Mookie Betts won't be Mookie Betts anymore. He's 75 career WAR, though. The dude's a Hall of Famer.
You're putting a 5-year thing on it. He's 33 now. He'll be 38 by the end of the thing. I mean,
yeah,
the 5 years matters. You know,
yeah, 100%.
PCA is still going to be in his prime in 5 years. Betts, I think we all agree, will not be.
There just aren't. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Man, you're talking about less than a handful of players.
Because that's the thing is it's like all the ingredients are there. I think we said yesterday, like, PCA is the franchise player starter kit. Like, he literally has every ingredient to make the most wonderful, delicious recipe to be your franchise face for the next 5, 6 years. Yeah.
And probably an
maybe
extension.
10 if we're lucky. Yeah.
And
10 years if we're lucky.
And we got him for a half a season of Javi Baez. I mean, it's one of the, I think it'll eventually go down as one of the all-time best Cub trades. I just think that looking back, like, whew.
And Javi was good for the Mets, too. So good for them, but they didn't re-sign him. You know what I mean? So
Big Dumper's another guy I would do it for.
Switch hitting catcher
who hits 60 home runs. Can you imagine
He's
a
not a
60
unicorn.
home run catcher at Wrigley Field?
He's a centaur.
And
we did.
No, we
he
saw it,
hit like 4 bombs.
Yeah, he was awesome at Wrigley
that
Field.
series was
You know what
nuts.
I mean? Like,
For
there
sure.
are a handful of players in Major League Baseball, but if you're just talking about the guys 25 and under, I think it's only Bobby Witt right now of the position players, and he's going to be 26, so he'd be off the list.
Luke had answered this question. Joey, how do you feel? Would you do it for Skeens?
Yeah.
I would.
Yes, I want to hear his answer.
Yeah.
Skeens is a tough one.
So what's interesting, look, like, I love Scooble, but if we're starting to like get into the nitty gritty and we want to start picking at the nit of Turek Scooble, like, he wasn't necessarily like ready made when he got up. Mm-hmm. You know, he's really like taking his game to another level. And by taking it to another level, I also mean like velocity's up, stuff is better. Like the last couple of years, his TJ stuff has just gone to this elite level. I'd love to have him on my team. Mm-hmm. But Paul Skeens, from the moment that he's gotten up, has been dynamite. He's been pretty incredible. And Luke, you made a really great point about position players and everyday stuff. Mm-hmm. My only counter to that was Skeens is a guy that can get you 21 to 24 outs in a World Series game.
Yep.
And win it by himself, right? And that's what the starting pitchers do. You know what I mean? And that's where
he could do what Yamamoto did last year for the Dodgers. I mean, he's that guy where he can get 3 wins in one World Series.
Yes, I would do it for Skeens.
Yeah, I would too.
I would, and then other than that, I don't know if there's any other pitchers, to be honest with you.
I think Skeens and Witt are the 2 names that I come up with.
I'm with you.
But Witt's going to be off the list soon.
Then it's just Skeens.
And so then it's just a young pitcher, and then you're just running the risk that your starter is going to stay healthy and be that dominant moving forward. And if you're forced to trade PCA, you just hope he doesn't hit 40 bombs a year.
Ron has a good point as we're ending here. Nobody's worried about PCA ? He hasn't been consistently good since July of this past year. Well, that's a very valid point.
Yeah.
You know, like we are fantasizing about first half Pete Crow Armstrong.
That's right.
You know, second half PCA was not great. But I think I'll speak for myself. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. In his mind, he's a superstar, and he's got great work ethic. And I think that we're going to see a much improved PCA this year. And I do think part of his downfall last year in the second half was because Kyle Tucker was not in the lineup. I think that PCA with a healthy Alex Bregman, Seiya Suzuki, I think PCA will shine and will take that major step forward to be the superstar this year that he already believes that he is. That's what I'm counting on.
The bottom line is there's almost nobody in Major League Baseball that I would trade PCA for. It's a list of like 5 players.
Period. I like that, Sarah.
And by this time next year, that list is going to be even smaller.
Except for some of the players you guys did mention. But anyways.
Yeah, look, he's got to go out there and prove it.
Yes,
but we are collectively sitting here banking and believing that he's going to.
All right. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs podcast. We're back again tomorrow at 2, I think, right? Regular time? Or are we going to be 1:30 tomorrow? 2 tomorrow. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for going through all our silliness. We don't want to trade PCA.
No.
Until
I
next
love Nico Hoerner.
And you love Nico Hoerner.
I love him more, obviously.
Me too. Thanks for watching. Until next time, fly the W.
We all silly like the mayor.